Je me permets de ce petit moment pour souhaiter la bienvenue aux personnes qui nous rejoignent, puisqu'il y a des personnes qui débarquent en cours de route, qui arrivent par là-haut. Soyez les bienvenus. Merci de nous rejoindre pour cette deuxième édition de Rise Up Connect. Il est maintenant l'heure d'accueillir notre quatrième et dernier intervenant, Hossein Houssaini, issu du monde de la publicité, avec en l'occurrence une expérience notable chez HAVAS Group en tant que Head of Programmatic Solutions. Welcome, Hossein. Please join me on stage. The stage is yours. You have time.
Mes amis, I'm really sorry we have to do this in English. I hope that's okay. I was like ex-VP of HAVAS. I never thought I'm going to see that again. So yes, I used to be the global VP for HAVAS Group, traveling a lot. And now, before that, I worked for companies like DoubleClick, Google, basically launching topics like personalization and programmatic in Europe. So we talk about advertising today. I assume all of you seen ads before, and ads from a perspective how we buy them today and how we roll them out. You know, it used to be very different. We used to, pretty sure half of the room doesn't know what that is, what I'm going to show in a second. We used to, there was a time where, you know, we were interact with advertisers and, you know, and publishers buying ads very traditional way, by phone and fax. And with the digitalization of the past 20 years, you know, we achieved something that got us to thinking that how can we personalize or how can we target audiences better and reduce wastage. So we look just real quick about how digital advertising has increased in the past couple of years. I'm sorry, I was supposed to look on this screen, not on that screen. We, this year, at $380 billion globally, just digital display. Just going from a perspective that advertising overall is $1 trillion business, right? And digital, with search, would be about 800 billion. If you look at France, looks okay, and we're this year at about 4 billion, which is great. I looked how much programmatic or automation buying would be in France. I looked it up and it says almost 90%, which I don't believe. And I will explain to you what it means in a second. The whole industry will be automized at some point. You know, we will use data, which we to buy ads programmatically or through automation processes. So if you look in the US, we're already at 90%. Every transaction is done through a machine, interacting through various intermediaries. Why do we do that? You know, number one, to reduce wastage. Number two, to target better. Number three, to give people a better experience. And now, if I gonna ask in the room what your advertising experience is, I'm pretty sure a lot of people say, well, you know, I get bombarded, I get followed, and so on and so on. You see that in the news. But it's improving. It's getting better, especially with the GDPR and the data laws. You know, Europe is in the forefront of fixing that. And for publishers, they can, you know, deal with inventory they usually don't sell directly to agencies or advertisers. They can yield that and make some money on top of that. By the way, I will be here the whole night. You know, I'm going to flip through this. I know it's a bit complicated. If you have any questions, you can chase me. I give an extra session then. Just going through this real quickly, who are the players, right? Traditionally, we used to have publishers and advertisers and agencies. They would interconnect and they would buy and sell. Now you have all this technology in between, from an ad service, demand-side platforms who do buy automated, to the exchanges that basically manage the inventory, to the publisher side with the supply platforms where publishers basically manage the inventory, and so on. I know. But we will have some nice examples in a second. As our previous speakers said, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't understand much, but I understood data, which is good. It's all about data, right? But content as well, you know, because content relates to personalization, of course. If you look at what kind of data we could collect today, right? We used to work with third-party data. When you would go on a website, you would be, the data point would be set to a data provider and so on. Advertisers would acquire that to target you. That's not going to be common when the cookie is dying, as you probably, hopefully followed. Second-party data is a data deal you do with somebody else, so like another advertiser, another publisher. And first-party data, the most valuable is your own data, like Amazon using first-party data, or retail media using first-party data, transactional data to give you the personalized ad you need. So just to summarize, so why do we need data? We need it to understand your behavior, understand attributes, your age, your gender, the attributes and preferences, what you like, what you almost bought, what you bought, not to retarget you again, and context, right? Especially in these times, context is so relevant, especially with the diminishing of the cookie. Data and content, I'm still good on time, I guess? Yes, very good, very good. Another 40 slides, my friends, so it's okay. Data and content. So buying automated is great. If you don't know how to use the data, it's not so good. If you don't know how to talk to your clients, even worse. Unfortunately, creativity, content, and data don't always align. But with technology, with the right technology, that's solvable. So you don't want to do ads like this, like me trying to sell glasses to myself, right? And just target and over-target yourself. If we look 5 years ago, there were ads that would follow you 30 times till you basically had to delete the cookies. Personalization, though. Why is that so important? If you look at CMOs globally, there was a research by the marketing innovators in 2021 that personalization will give you more brand engagement, will increase your conversions. The question is, how do you connect that off-site experience, which means the ad that reaches you, with the on-site experience on the website? Because it's not always interconnected. And what do we collect? I mean, I've seen this chart a couple of years ago, and it is crazy how many people, especially in this time, give their data away. And now, if you look at the Gen Zs and baby bloomers on email addresses, 74% and 76% say, no problem, right? Browsing history and brands, website, 62% and 44%, 57 plus, might not know what that means, but it's okay. But we willingly give away our data, which means we should be able to give you the right personal experience, which we still, which the ad industry is still working on, and now will be pressured to do that even more with a few topics I'm going to bring up in a few seconds. But with more data, consumers just expect that experience. It's not that easy because we have so many channels. We have social, we have traditional advertising, video, CTV, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, what did I miss? All these channels do not communicate with each other, plus the walled gardens that I just mentioned. But how do you then make sure that you have a personalized experience? It's all a layer above where you need to plan and need to buy automated, because in real time, which we call programmatic, you can react in real time. What are the challenges? You need a data management platform. You need to collect data. You need to be able to plan right. You need the right people. You need the right staff. You need the right talent. And you need to be aware that the cookies are going to leave us one day. So your focus should be on first-party data to personalize, which is the most valuable data. That's what I just mentioned. Data management, analytics, decisioning, which is the platform you would need, the orchestration, how do you plan that, and the action, how do you deliver it. Here is a little example how in-game advertising works. Right, that's one of the biggest industries right now on the rise. every gamer has an ID, everybody logs in. Doesn't mean if it's a mobile game or if it's on your PlayStation. Based on these attributes, you could personalize his experience with ads. Or Netflix. Look at Netflix. Netflix is going to advertise soon through Microsoft. I'm not sure if you read the news. So you will see ads at some point. But they use context to show you the right version of the banner to push you or to convince you to watch a show. So in this example, each of these ads gets 5% spent, and then they do the A/B testing to personalize you the right content so you engage with Netflix content. Now, why is personalization so important? We're in the shift. I don't know how it's in France, but in the UK, we definitely feel it. You know, the spending priorities shift with inflation. People want to save more money. People go less out. People go, you know, well, you are all here now. That's different. But, you know, people spend less money on things that usually are easy ongoing. So which means their ad experience needs to be different, which needs to be more personalized, needs to be more engaged, and we need to be better in understanding what the priorities are. CMOs are working on this right now, right, to try to figure that out. Like an example would be, it's like, you know, if people drink less alcohol, you know, focus on non-alcoholic drinks, because everybody needs to drink at some point. And the same way, we used to advertise, or we still advertise, you know, digital advertising is less sustainable than we think, you know, because we leave a carbon footprint there, a big one, which means personalization and targeting can help us to waste less, to target better, to personalize till that conversion. 65% of consumers in a research are willing to, you know, buy from brands that are willing to go green. So we have this wave now, and even in our industry, we bring a new layer of measurement in to be better. So I could show you right here. Target better, reuse, and personalize. How are we on time? Good? Oh, really? I can talk slower then. Okay. Oh, I'm almost done. My video is 5. Let me just check. Yes. So I can tell you that personalization and advertising is not new. I actually, when I started my career in 2007 with DoubleClick, well, after, you know, after leaving IBM, I was selling the first dynamic banners, right? So you would interact with a banner, and then the next time you would come, it would show you, based on the attributes you clicked on, an optimized ad. And so we're still in 2022, and we have not been able to figure it out completely. But it's so important, because with the generation cycles that come over and over, they go quicker and quicker, the Gen Zs and so on, the demands are different. And if brands do not react accordingly, they lose these consumers who will go to somebody else. Just to show you how personalization, you know, related to advertising, related to content will be or might be, Google and Apple and Facebook are working on that right now. You know, having your glasses one day that give you all the information you need, you know, and see the world customized as you want it. I have this little video, possible future of personalization, which is 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna talk for 30 seconds.
Fantastic. Great. Nice. Great.
Vas tarde. Apúrate si quieres una buena calificación.
Voy lo más rápido que puedo.
¿Has pensado en correr? Es saludable y eficiente.
Seguro que no hay más trabajos disponibles. Yo estudié para ser profesora y estoy haciendo mercados.
Y además puedes quedarte con los puntos de fidelización. Eres una monje afortunada. Tienes que confiar en la aplicación. ¿Te sientes inspirada? Gracias. Chao.
Bueno. Hola otra vez. Ay, no, cállate. ¿Qué está pasando?
Buen día, Emilio. ¿Qué puedo hacer por usted?
¿Qué está pasando? Mis puntos están bien.
No se preocupe, sus puntos están seguros conmigo. ¿Le puedo ayudar en algo más, Emilio?
Yo no soy Emilio, yo soy Juliana Restrepo.
Por favor, espere.
Hola, Juliana Restrepo. Me alegra verte. ¿Qué puedo hacer por ti?
Mis puntos están bien. ¿Qué está pasando?
Tranquila, todo está bien. Parece que alguien está intentando vulnerar su cuenta. Por favor, espere mientras reinicio su dispositivo.
And that's my point. No, one day we will be overexposed with media and personalization. Everything will be based on a loyal card, points, and we just need to make the best out of it in terms of how personal we need to get. Personalization is important. Personalization will lead you to other groups, communities, and if you have any questions, here's my QR code, just scan it, it should work, and we become friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hossein.